Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and welcome to Let 'em Breathe, the show where I like to unbox and play with some really cool toys. This time we'll be taking a look at a ton of new MOTU Origins figures. Starting off with Wave 10, we'll be taking a look at Mekaneck's Trapjaw, Digitino, Whiplash, and King Randor. Moving on to Wave 11, being the Snake Man wave, we have Rattler, Boltman, Cobra Con, and Snake Armor HeMan. We'll also be opening up the new Mekaneck and Road Ripper set, which I am so excited for, and then finally the new Mattel Creations Camo Con exclusive figure. So what are we waiting for? Let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. Alright guys, now I'm going to start off with Mekaneck's Trapjaw here, as this is pretty much our repaint. It seems like maybe every other wave or so we might be getting a repaint here and there, which I'm actually really cool with. I love the Mekaneck's version of Trapjaw. I love the Mekaneck's versions of all the characters. Some of them are just so weird and completely different from what we normally know, which again, I love and I enjoy that a lot. So our Mekaneck's Trapjaw here, again, just looks vastly different from the way we normally know him, you know, with the blue skin and things like this. Time he has a really nice, almost yellowish green, like a very day glow color here going on with his skin tone. I do wish it leaned a little more to the green side. Right here, it's very yellowish, so I wish it was a little more green, but still looks really cool. I love like the silver for the arm and the belt and the bracer, even his jaw there looks really cool too. I love that we're actually getting more normal boots now instead of his big mechanical legs. We even still got the stripes on the furry trunks right there too, which looks really good. So I love this, man. We still get the articulated jaw. That looks really cool too. And of course he has his loop on his head like that. We do get his attachments here, so I'm going to put his hook on this side. The hook is actually my favorite accessory, so I have that on my standard Trapjaw. We're going to take the claw hand, put it on that side on the belt like that. And then for display for this guy, I decided I'm going to use the gun attachment for this one to get his pew pew on. So I love that. God, that looks really cool, dude. So again, I love the Mekaneck's versions. I think they're so cool. I know they finally just announced the Mekaneck's Roboto in the orange. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that version. I actually really do love that version. So having a Mekaneck's Trapjaw to go along with that, for me, is just super cool. Alright, now let's take a look at my boy Digitino here. As part of the Rulers of the Sun, I guess, guild, clan, I don't know what you want to call them, you know, subsect of MOTU now. This is Digitino, mi gente. I love this guy. I'm so glad to finally have him. I remember always wanting the vintage figure, but man, having this one is just as good in my opinion. I love the way this looks. The colors are fantastic with those orange, reds, and blues. This crazy like tech vest he has going on, and it's kind of weird how it wraps around, but whatever. But the cool thing is that this thing does glow in the dark and it looks really nice. It glows very, very well, so I do enjoy that a lot. The head sculpt is fantastic. He has his little ponytail back here. Oh my god, that is like, to me, that is such a Latino head. I love it so much, man. It looks great, and for me, I don't know about you guys, but the Rulers of the Sun figures tend to look so much more vintagey than the MOTU figures. Like, these look a lot more accurate to the vintage figures, just with updated articulation, whereas the MOTU figures themselves kind of look a little more updated and look a little more altered kind of thing. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But still, I'm so happy to freaking have this guy. And he comes with this. I don't know what the heck this is. He's supposed to be some kind of like tech wizard. So I don't know what this, you know, lobster claw thing is. What is it, wire strippers? I don't know, but that's his weapon. Why is that his weapon? I don't know, but it's so weird. And legit kind of feels MOTU, so I'm all about it. So I'm just very happy to have him, man. This is a figure that honestly I have been waiting to get in my collection since my childhood, and for that I just love him so much. Alright, next up we're taking a look at Whiplash here. Such an iconic character that we're finally getting in Origins, and such a weird looking character. I love the fact that he has the monster arm, so we get the open palm hand on this side and closed hand on this side. I wish they would include more interchangeable hands with these figures, you know what I mean? I love the open palm hands, but it'd be kind of cool to have like two-fisted hands or two open palm hands or whatever. You know, that's just my opinion, but I do love the body that we're getting here that we've seen with the Buzz Off. So that's that specific type of head. But I love the legs here looking great. You got those big cool monster feet with those crazy looking toes. I do love the tail that you do have to plug in once you get them out of the package, but it's a nice thick rubber, so that's really cool too. But I love the texture on that, just looks like a big alligator or something like that. And his head sculpt is so iconic. He has that crazy looking spiked hawk, those thick eyebrows. Man, those are some eyebrows on the homeboy with the red eyes. And then he's got his crazy nose tooth that comes out like right below his nose. Again, such a weird looking character, but I love him so much. And then he, of course, comes with his spear here. I do wish the spear was a little more on the orange side. It's very red on this one. So I just wish it was a little more orange, but it still looks great. Again, very iconic. Just such a, it's really good to build out Skeletor's like main henchmen, you know what I mean? The main guys that we know. And this is really cool. This is definitely one that I'm super stoked about. Then the last figure for this wave, we're taking a look at King Randor, which for a while was a little tricky to get your hands on, but he's starting to come out there a lot more often, so it's actually a lot more easier now. But the vintage figure of this one is like so ridiculous in prices. The aftermarket prices on him have really gone up. He's just so rare, and when you do find him, sometimes he doesn't have his cape, but this one just looks so good, man. Again, for me, and I'm saying this right now, for me, this is my opinion, feel free to attack me in the comments, I love Origins. For me, Origins is the best MOTU line next to the vintage line. For me, better than Classics. Feel free to get at me in the comments. It's totally okay. But I just love these, man. Again, I never had the vintage Randor, and I was never going to own a vintage Randor, especially after those aftermarket prices. But this just looks so good. This is the next best thing, in my opinion. Of course, you got that really cool Burger King head sculpt, which looks great, in my opinion. The armor looks fantastic with those golds and things like that. Oh my god, I think the paint apps look great on this guy. The gold on the bracers and the belt, very vibrant. You got his orange pants, his blue and white boots there. The cape looks really good. It's a more rubbery plastic this time around instead of a soft goods like the vintage. And he, of course, comes with the same spear like we just saw with Whiplash, the exact same spear, this time done in a very nice gold. That gold looks really good, too. I do love the color of the molded gold like that. I think it blends in very well with his overall look. But yeah, man, this is fantastic, dude. I am so happy to finally have a Randor in my collection. He just looks so good, so regal, and these colors are ridiculous, but I love it for that, man. The colors on MOTU have always been ridiculous. Alright, next up we're going to look at Boltman. This is another one of the Rulers of the Sun figures, and I love how they're rolling these out like every other wave at this point. I need all of them, man. I need the entire line, including Butterfly Woman. Come on, Mattel, where's our Butterfly Woman figures? I need that whole lineup too. So this guy just looks great. He feels very special to me for some reason. I open him up, I'm like, wow, this looks very vintagey and just so cool. I love the colors here with those blues and oranges and things like that. I love the way this character looks. You got that giant lightning bolt across his armor right there, looking really good. The handbag looks nice. Then you got his holster right here. He does come with like his lightning bolt weapons that you can store on his back like that, which I think is super dope. Or you can actually hold them in his hand. I've seen some people hold them like that, and that's cool because you can actually, oops, I just totally popped his arm off. Let me put that back on. I like that because you could actually pose him like this, like he's throwing the lightning bolts, you know what I mean? Or you just put him in his hand like this, almost like they're like swords of some type, you know what I mean? So that's really cool too. Again, or just hold them both in the back of him like that, and I think that looks fantastic, just holstered back there like so. I love the little hooks that helps them stay in there, and again, hold him like he's throwing his lightning bolt. So I think it's so dope, man. This is such a fun line. Again, I need all of the Rulers of the Sun. For me, especially Zapman, that was always a very cool one. I don't think that one ever actually got made in the vintage line, so now they're saying they're going to make those ones that never got made, so I'm hoping, Mattel, fingers crossed, I want the whole line. And again, some Butterfly Woman, but Boltman here just feels super special to me. Again, the colors, everything just works for me. Such a great looking character. And next up for this particular wave, we have Rattler here, or as a lot of us from 2000X know him as General Rattler, you know, if you want to call him that. This is a great looking figure, man. I never really had any of the Snake Men, with the exception of Tongue Lasher. Tongue Lasher is my personal favorite Snake Man, even though he kind of looks like a frog. But his colors were ridiculous. But Rattler was always the other one that stood out to me. But again, I never had him in the line. I only had Lasher as the Snake Man. But his colors were so cool. This really cool, like almost copper red, which looks really good. And then the blue and yellow, like striping for his arms and his leg. I mean, even on this figure, it looks so good. His chest looks crazy too, with all those like scales and lining. You know, the Snake Men had very unique molds to them compared to a lot of other MOTU figures, which I always really appreciated. The belt looks great with a Snake Man logo on there. The head sculpt looks awesome with those teeth, very vintagey. And then you got a more of a softer rubbery plastic. This is like a little more thinner plastic than Whiplash is. I don't know if that's how the vintage one was. I'm assuming it is, but I love how it has the little yellow towards the painted tip of the tail like that, since he is a rattlesnake. And because he's a rattlesnake, you hear that? He actually has little beads in him. Now that I do remember, so I think that's super dope. They included the rattle feature in Rattler here, so I love that so much. Now his big gimmick was he could do like a stretchy neck thing, kind of like Mekaneck here. So this time they just gave us an attachment where you can just plug on like that, and then we could take the head on like so, and then pop that on. Now he has extended neck. My only thing, this is one thing I wish they would have just painted the back of the neck to go along with the red here. You know, that's just something. Like, I get that they're trying to go with the old school vibe of these characters, but there's certain upgrades that I would like, and very minor things, but like a painted back of the neck would have been one thing I would have loved with this guy. And then, of course, he does come with the iconic Snake Man staff that we can put in his hand like that. Boom. That just looks so dope, man. I wish this was a little bigger, too. That's one of those things, again, I just wish that was a little bit bigger. Again, I know they're trying to go vintage, but still, I wish he was something like that. Whoa, that got really dark real quick. I just wish that would have been a little bit bigger, but still, it looks so awesome. It feels really good to have more Snake Men in the collection. Again, I was never really big on the Snake Men, even though I love the faction, just never really had them as a kid. But Rattler here is one I am super happy that I finally get to play with. Now let's take a look at Snake Armor HeMan. And holy crap, this figure has no reason to go this hard. I freaking love it so much. First of all, I love that they're doing 2000X designs, all about that. We've already seen that we're going to get Snake Armor Skeletor in a future wave, I believe in wave 12, actually. So that should be out early 2023. But this was always like one of my favorite designs from 2000X. It easily is one of my all-time favorite looks for He-Man. It just has a very cool asymmetrical design, you know, very simple more on this side, but then you got all this really cool armor on this side, the half chest like this with that modern He-Man logo on there, the shoulder pauldron looking very knightly. You got the mechanical arm and his bracer there. I just think this is such a cool look for He-Man, and I always really wanted that 2000X figure. I don't have it. I really should try and go get back and get it at some point. Even the classics one, I had never had that one, but I really do enjoy the look of it. But damn, dude, this thing is so wicked looking. So we do get his claw attachment that you can just plug right into there, because those are supposed to be like snake fangs or something like that would pop out of his little arm gauntlet there. I think that's super dope and done in a really nice gold. And of course, we do get the tech sword right here, which he could hold in his hand, or he actually does have a sword holster for the back like that. Again, this thing, why are you going so hard on this figure? It is crazy, you know, but I love it, dude. This is, again, one of my personal favorite He-Man designs of all time, and this just looks great, dude. I'm so stoked that they did this in Origins, because he just looks so freaking awesome to me. Then the last figure of Wave 11 here, we're going to take a look at Cobra Con. And again, I never had any of the Snake Men besides Tongue Lasher. I always wanted more, just never did. So it's really cool to finally have more vintagey like Cobra Con. Love the head sculpt of that with that eye and the green, lighter green around the eye like that. Even some black in there. We got some white in the mouth. This all looks really cool. The brown, again, the very unique torsos that the Snake Men had were really, really cool. Love the trunks there, the green belt, the more monster feet. This just looks so dope, man. So he does come with his gun here. Very, very key to Cobra Con here. Done in that really nice orange. That looks super cool like that. Pop that in there. Now, the one thing that a lot of people don't like, and I understand that he doesn't have his water squirting feature. I totally get that, but for me as a collector, I don't care about a lot of the action features anymore. That is for me. You might have a different opinion. You may love the action features and miss them. Again, I don't mind. I personally would have something like this, where they done, instead of him actually shooting water out of his mouth like that, they actually gave him like a squirting effect, which is more, this time more like an acid spitting effect piece, which you could pop into the mouth and boom, shooting out like that. And for me, that is so cool. I prefer something like this. Again, that's just me. So I think it looks great. Again, you are totally valid if you miss the actual squirting feature, but for someone like me, for my needs and for my wants, I think this is so cool to take pictures and have him on display, you know, shooting stuff out of his mouth. I think it's just so rad. Again, really dope to finally have a Cobra Con in my collection. So now let's move on to Camo Con. So before I show off the actual figure, I want to show off the card back, since this does come in that resealable packaging, which I do like. So the card back looks really cool. And now we have Camo Con, evil camouflage master of the diabolical snakes, which is almost like a sub-team of the Snake Man, which is really cool. And you can actually open this up here, and we just get some really incredible art. I believe this is Axel Jimenez, which freaking killed it, dude. And I love all the different things we're seeing there. You got my boy's tongue lasher down there. You got Squeeze, all kinds of like hidden gems in this artwork. You have an Eldor right there. Oh my God, we need a Titus. I would love the Giants. That'd be crazy to get in this line. But yeah, I didn't get the Eternia, so I don't know if I'll ever get that version of King Grayskull there. But then in the back here, you got a full-on comic, which is really cool, talking about kind of the story of Camo Con. Then you have a Laser Light Skeletor in here. That's got to be one we're going to get, right? The Laser Light figures, HeMan and Skeletor, just looking so cool. I love the other ones, Terror, Terrax, and Lord Grasp from the snakes, the diabolical snakes now. Even got Lady Slither up there. I mean, I am all about this, dude. This is a very cool setup here. I love when Mattel does stuff like this. Really just makes it feel a little more special. So yeah, let's check out the figure now. So now here is Camo Con all out of the box. Oh my God, dude, it's crazy to think, because I remember seeing the vintage Camo Con, which is just, I can't remember, was it an Argentina version of Cobra Con? I can't remember, but it was just a crazy weird version where he had this spray painted like camouflage on, and he had like claws on for some reason. It was just crazy good. But I love the golds here. Even the toenails are actually painted white, which looks good. The gold belt, the crazy overspray of the camouflage just looks crazy good. And they got the Snake Man logo on there. I do wish the overspray on this is more bluish. I kind of wish it was a little more black, because I think the vintage one was more black. I've never seen one in person, but it looked a little more black. Even on the classics figure, it was more black, right? Am I wrong on that? But the overspray of the blue looks a little weird, but I still do very much love it. But this new head sculpt is crazy good, dude, with the cowl fully spread out. Those eyes look incredible. The mouth fully painted, and the teeth. I just think this looks so freaking dope, man. So he does come with a lot of stuff, since he's more of a deluxe figure. We do get interchangeable hands, which are more normal hands. So you get two gripping hands, which is really cool. So if you want to do more like the vintage Cobra Con, you can just take these off and pop on the regular hands. Or he does come with a more vintagey head, because their vintage Camo Con did just have a more straight up like Cobra Con head. If I could actually pop this on right there. Oh, that is really nice and tight. Oh yeah, there we go. So that works out pretty good. Again, the eyes looking crazy good with the red and yellow there. Mouth fully painted this time around. That just looks so good. So I'm actually gonna do, he also does come with his, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take this. He does come with the blaster, just like the vintage Cobra Con as well, done in a more bright orange. He also does come with a squirting effect piece, this time done in blue. So we could pop that on like that. And then let's go ahead and bring in the other standard Cobra Con like that. And you can see how different they really are. I mean, that is just crazy cool. I love the fact that we're getting two different color effect pieces. I love that. This one has more acidy spit. This one has the water spit, whatever you want to call it. Just loving this a whole ton, man. Yeah, very cool looking figures. I never thought I'd own a Cobra Con. I for damn sure never thought I would own a Camo Con. So I love that a ton. And then he does come with his mace, which I believe came with the vintage Cobra Con or Camo Con, did he? I don't remember. But this time it's done in a crazy vac metal green, Why? I mean, I'm not complaining because I love it. It's just, what a crazy choice. They're like, hey, let's just throw in a vac metal weapon. All right, I'm down for that. That looks great, dude. So he's definitely going to be rocking that vac metal head. He's definitely going to be rocking this cowled mask like that, which you could still use his spitting effect in the cowled head as well. And since he does have the other clawed hand, you could take the gun, pop it in the other hand, fully load this guy up, and damn, that is a sweet looking figure. Very, very happy with this. And then the last one I'll be taking a look at here, one of my personal. And then the last one I'll be taking a look at is one of my personal favorite MOTU characters, Mekaneck. Yeah, I freaking love Mekaneck, dude. He's like in my probably top 5, top 10 MOTU characters of all time. I know he's bottom tier for a lot of people. I just really, really loved him. I had the vintage figure, and he was one of my favorites. You know, the whole stretchy neck thing was just really cool to me. Yeah, so I absolutely love that we're finally getting him in Origins. He has this crazy silver fuzzy boots. Why does homeboy have silver fuzzy boots? It is what it is. But the green belt, the black trunks, his really cool armor, very rubbery this time around. Like, you could feel how like rubbery it is compared to the hard plastic of the vintage. I do prefer this because I don't want to break these like clasps and things like that. Sometimes the clasps on the vintage figures would snap off when trying to put them together and pull them apart. You know what I mean? But his crazy like geometrical style helmet was always very interesting to me. I love we're getting like the vac metal eyes. That's really cool. I kind of wish they were green, more like the 2000X. But this still looks fantastic. The head sculpt still looks incredible. I absolutely love this guy. So of course he does have to have his extended neck here. Since it doesn't have the actual extended feature, we do get a neck attachment, which again, I prefer. I prefer these interchangeable parts over action features. So you can pop that on, and then he has an extended neck like that. I kind of do wish they had done us like they did with classics, where they had a shorter neck and then a longer neck. I think that would have been awesome. And then, I mean, come on, who else just wants to stack a bunch of these and just have like a freaking 5-foot long neck version of Mekaneck on the shelf? I think that would be really cool. So I love this so much. And then he, of course, comes with his very unique and iconic giant yellow club, which is, again, very unique to the character. Even has that hollowness inside like the vintage figure, which is funny. So I love this so freaking much. Again, one of my personal favorite characters of all time from MOTU. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Road Ripper here. And yes, it's called the Road Ripper, not the Ground Ripper. I will never refer to it as that. But the wheels spin fantastic on this thing. I mean, you can see how well it rolls around. It is butter on the ground there. The look of this thing, this is one of those vintage vehicles that I did have. I didn't have a lot of vehicles back when I was a kid, but I did have this one, and I loved it so much. And it's cool to have it again. And it feels like the vintage toy. That's what's crazy with this thing. It feels like the vintage toy. So I low-key kind of feel like a kid again. All the sticker decals that we get here are fantastic. The artwork looks great on those, very vintagey on the back. The whole dial reader here on the front. I mean, all the decals on this thing look great. The eyes on that head look awesome as well. This thing does have an interchangeable head. Now, I can't remember, is this particular head like the bad guys version or like the mini comics version? I honestly do not remember, but it's cool that if you want to have it like that, have a whole different look for that. But for me, I like this almost like bird head that we get on there. Again, very, very vintagey. And you could take your Mekaneck or pretty much any other MOTU figure and just kind of put them in a little bit of seating position. And then we could pop them on like this, put his arm up, and then the seatbelt kind of just wraps around. And there's a little peg right here. Put it on the little peg hole slot like that, and there you go. Now you have your figure rocking the Road Ripper, man. So I think this is so cool. I am very happy that they came with this, because I would have easily bought Mekaneck by himself, because again, one of my favorite characters, and I easily would have bought a Road Ripper by itself, because that, again, one of my personal favorite figures as vehicles as a child. So again, very happy to have it as an adult now. So there it is, guys, my unboxing of all of these incredible MOTU Origins figures. Now, the Origin line is definitely one of my favorite current lines. I love that they pay homage to the vintage line so well, while giving us updated things like articulation, interchangeable parts, and effect pieces. All that stuff is great to me. And hey, this is a modular line, so you can mix and match parts and make your own crazy looking character. But that's one of the best things about MOTU, was always the crazy characters that we do get and seeing all the crazy bright colors on our shelves. That is so much fun. The fact that we're getting not only your standard HeMan characters, but we're getting Rulers of the Sun characters, many comic variants, we're getting 2000X characters. I mean, there's so much that we're getting. We're even getting vehicles in a modern line, which is very rare, so I absolutely love that. All of these are so much fun and definitely a must get. And as I always like to say, feel free to open your toys and play with them, and don't forget to let them breathe. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.